Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the JP Football Podcast. I'm your host, of course, Josh. And today, we have so much footy to talk about today. A lot to unpack, not just with Everton, but what's going on around, the footballing world, especially with the top teams, top clubs. I just want to say, to everyone who's subscribed over the past few days, given the video likes and want to spread the word, thank you so much. It really does mean the world to me when you guys do that and stuff like that happens, because I do want this channel to grow. And then eventually, once we have a decent amount of subscribers and people, I can start bringing in the interviews. I can start bringing in the local stars, and that's going to be really, really exciting. So you guys could, find out who these people are, who the future of football could potentially be. And that's going to be exciting. But anyway, let's not waste any more time. We got a lot to unpack today. So here we go. So we're going to start off with Everton's game this Saturday. It's this Saturday against Brighton and Hove Albion, who are currently fourth in the Premier League table as we speak. They beat Watford and Burnley in their opening two games. So really good start for them. Honestly, I feel both of those games could go either way, because Burnley, Watford, Brighton, and them, I feel, are in the same category for, where they're finishing in the table, which is going to be the lower half. Absolutely, for sure. No doubt about that in my mind. But so this is going to be the match preview for, this is going to be the match preview for that game. Kickoff time is 7 o'clock our time in the US here. So I'm going to be up early, supporting Everton, repping the shirt, watching, you already know. So with Brighton, Graham Potter is their manager, and I think that Graham Potter is actually quite a good manager. He doesn't have the best squad, so he works with what he has, but he plays decent football. I think Brighton will stay somewhat organized against Everton. I also think this is, in my opinion at least, this is going to be more of a test for Brighton to see how well they can do against Everton, instead of it being a test for Everton against Brighton. Because again, the teams that Brighton have played, they're going to finish, in the bottom half of the table this season, lower half, bottom half of the table this season, and Everton are going to finish in the top half. So again, this is going to be a test for them early on in the season. I guess you could say it'll somewhat be a test for Everton as well. But this is a game that I do feel comfortable going into. This is a game that we should win. We should take the 3 points from. And, that's that. Brighton players to look out for. Neal Maupay, their striker, who I'm going to talk about later, actually. Neal Maupay, he's been on the mark last game. So that's that. I really like Yves Bissouma. I think he's arguably Brighton's best player alongside Trossard. And I would love for Everton to have a player like Bissouma. It would really bolster and strengthen our midfield. There's that. They also have Shane Duffy, former Everton player, I believe. So, he got on the scoring sheet as well. And then, Lamptey, Tariq Lamptey, who I don't think is that bad of a player at all. And then you got Danny Welbeck, who, well, let's just be honest. Danny Welbeck isn't the same Danny Welbeck he was all those years ago back in his, United days. But I still think Danny Welbeck could be a threat to Everton if he even plays. I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know too much about Brighton's status on their players, but the players I just listed, I do feel we are, in fact, going to have to watch out for. So, we'll take that into caution. Everton coming off the 2-2 draw with Leeds. I feel like that game shows we can score goals. Our wingers are scoring, Townsend in the Carabao Cup, and then Gray last week. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this game against Brighton. I fully expect us to get the 3 points against them. Anything, if we get a draw, that's going to be annoying. And then if we lose, well, that's just going to be, we can't lose to Brighton. Okay. We cannot lose to Brighton. These are games. If Everton want to push for European competition this season, and, a lot of people think we're going to finish in 8th or 9th, and, very well, I do think we'll probably finish around that area as well. But Everton as a team in the whole, and Rafa Benitez is the manager. If we're really, really, really going to push for the top 6 this season, Brighton is a team that we have to beat. We have to beat Brighton, or if we don't, it's just going to show, no, this is why we're not going to make the top six. Losing to the likes of United and City and Chelsea and them, that's fine. That's okay. We're not really expected to win those games, but the games we are expected to get results out of, the games we are expected to win, we absolutely need to just go out there and get the points. And again, Brighton is one of those teams where we need to go out there, play our football, play with some pace, power down the wings, throw in some crosses for Calvert-Lewin to get his head to, and, put the game to bed. We need to put this game away to bed early. We really do. We need to get an early goal, maybe get a second 40 minutes or odd so later on if need be. Earlier, of course, is better. And, we just need to go in there, show why we're the better team with our authority and our players, and bam, just, put the game to bed. As for who's starting the game, I think Jordan Pickford will be back in goal. Lucas Dean will be in the left back position. On the right back, Seamus Coleman, he didn't play in the Carabao Cup, which is good because not only did we move on, but he got rest. So Coleman should be starting. And then Benjamin Godfrey, please come back, Ben Godfrey. Please. I cannot do another game or another week where Michael Keane is playing center back and it's going to be 10 times. Well, let me rephrase. If Mason Holgate is playing center back and Michael Keane's alongside him, it's going to be 10 times worse than it really should be. So no Michael Keane. I really hope Ben Godfrey is back and he's match fit. By the way, do not expect James Rodriguez to make an appearance at all against them, whether it be fitness or, he just really doesn't want to be at the club. Don't expect James Rodriguez at this game in the lineup or on the bench. So we're just going to discard him right off the bat. But which is annoying because I love James Rodriguez, but okay. But yeah, Yerry Mina needs to play against Brighton. And then if Ben Godfrey can, that center back partnership, I believe we'll get a clean sheet if those two are playing in the center back roles. I really do believe we'll get a clean sheet. Dean, Coleman, Mina, Godfrey, we'll get a clean sheet if those four are playing. For the midfield, it could be 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2. I think we'll go with the 4-2-3-1, though it more seems. The two are there, Alan and Decore, no real surprises for me. Decore has been really good, and he got a rest during the cup. And then Alan, who also got a rest during the cup. I think both of them are going to be back. And as far as I'm concerned, those are our two holding midfielders starting, at least until something better, unless other players step it up. But no, Alan and Decore for me, there's really no one else I feel is the better partnership at the moment. Now, some people might say, well, what about Jean-Philippe Gbamin? Well, again, Gbamin, he's come back and played a full 90 minutes of football after being injured for 2 years. I'm not even joking, like a year and a half, 2 years at this point. And, it's going to take time for Gbamin to really get fully back into himself. I said in the last video, he didn't really impress me with what he did against Huddersfield Town, which is fine. Again, it's fine. He's gone through injury hell. So it's just going to take time for Gbamin to really get fit and really get up to top speed 100 gear. It's going to take a few months. I know Evertonians, we're not really patient, but we're going to have to be patient with this one. It's going to take a few months, and maybe he'll make an appearance off the bench. That might be what's best for him at the moment. And, I guess the Premiership, especially with Alan fit, Decore fit, those two should be playing every game if they're both fit, without a doubt, so far as I've seen. So, that's that. Maybe Gbamin will come off the bench. The three mids up top, left mid, right mid, attacking mid, or any variation. I think we'll start Townsend. Yeah, I would like to see Andros Townsend start another game. Again, I thought he was garbage for the majority of the game against Huddersfield, but again, he made up for it by getting that goal. So, hope he goes out there and gets that goal again as well. So I'd have Townsend starting on one side, and then on the other side, Richarlison, left mid, right mid, doesn't matter to me. Richarlison, who also got a rest during the cup, and I think he'll be fit, ready to go at Brighton, run at their defense. He scored at least a goal or two against them. So, he's always good for that. So have Richarlison there playing that attacking mid role. Go with Demarai Gray. And the interesting thing is, I could see some interchanges, if that makes sense. Like I could see Gray or Richie or Townsend. Like I could see all three of them like every now and then switching from central to wide, because all three of those players can play wide, by the way, and one of them could definitely, I feel, easily play in the middle if need be, especially if they're interchanging and switching off. So I think, that front three of Townsend, Gray, and Richarlison, especially with Richarlison and Gray, it gives us good pace up front. And then Townsend being the most accurate crosser in the Prem last season, hopefully he can make good deliveries, because God, his last game's deliveries against Huddersfield were awful. They were some of the worst set pieces I've seen in a while. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if he's going to keep doing that, I hope you better improve, or, just have Lucas Dean take them. But yeah, so those three. And then up top, of course, DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who, should be a handful for the Brighton defenders and, well, just folk in general. So yeah, that's who I do want to start for Everton starting 11. That's the team I hope that starts, because that's a really, really strong team. And then again, off the bench, you have the likes of, Davis, Gabaman, Moise Keane, Moise Keane, if he'll do nothing, but you still have good squad players who's can come off the bench, make an impact. Andre Gomez, even, in fact, he made a good, he played good. He made a good impact last match as well. So yeah, hopefully Everton can just come away with the 3 points. I'm very excited for the match. And yeah, that's that. Moving on then to the next topic for Everton. So Everton, it has been confirmed, are playing QPR, aka the Queen's Park Rangers, away from home in the third round of the EFL Cup, also known as the Carabao Cup. I'm not happy with this draw. I'm not. Now, trust me, the draw could have been a lot worse. It really could have been a lot worse. We could have gotten a top Premier League side like United or City or Leicester or one of them. We really could have gotten one of those. Or is Leicester still in it? I think they're still in it, but we could have gotten a top side. Instead, we get QPR, another championship side, by the way. They play in the same division of football as Huddersfield do, if you guys didn't know that. So there's that. But I'm not excited about this one, because it's another away game. So we have to travel again. And that QPR crowd, I think, is going to be loud like the Huddersfield one, even if it's not at full capacity. I think they're still going to motivate their players to get forward, And, Everton it just makes me really worried about what happened against Huddersfield. I think something similar is going to happen to QPR unless we play a stronger squad and a bit of a better team. Like, I'll tell you this. If Michael Keane is playing against QPR, we're going to be in trouble. It might show shades of similarity to the Huddersfield game. We're going to be in trouble. But again, this is a game Everton should win, like Huddersfield. I do think we will win, but I just think it's going to be another one of those games where we're going to have to grit and really grind out like a 1-0 or a 2-1 victory, when we really should be winning the game 2-3-0 comfortably, a comfortable win. But no, I don't think it will be a comfortable win for Everton against QPR. I do think we'll get the win, but yeah, that's all I really got to say on that. It's going to be played next month around like September 20th, September 21st. It's going to be around there. So a little from a month away. It feels like ages away, but it really isn't. So, still, it'll come a lot closer and a lot faster than most of us think. And that's all I really got to say about that at the moment. When match day for that game comes a bit closer, I'll speak a little bit more on it. But as for now, yeah, we're playing Queen's Park Rangers, third round. Let's get a win, move on to the next. So now to talk about Everton transfers, rumors, confirmed signings, which, none has happened. So this is mainly rumors and whatnot. So the first thing, Nathangelo Marcello has left Everton Football Club and has joined PSV on a permanent deal, which I think is a good move for the lad. I mean, he's still a bit young. He can get his footballing career under the ground. Too bad it didn't work at Everton, as it seems to not work for a lot of our younger players. Our academy system needs fixing. There needs to be something done about our academy system and these young players. But anyway, so again, he's joined PSV, which is a top side in the Eredivisie League up in Holland. I wish the best for him. PSV always seem to be title contenders with the likes of Feyenoord and Ajax. So yeah, good luck to you, Nathangelo. That's all I really got to say about that. And then according to Tudo Sport, Everton are still interested in Weston McKinney, but other parties that are interested are Aston Villa and West Ham. Honestly, if Weston McKinney joined Everton or Aston Villa or West Ham, he would make the squad stronger. There's no negativity when it comes to Weston McKinney joining a club. I think any club he joins, he'll make somewhat better, even if it's a top club. I mean, he's already playing for a top club at Juventus in the Italian league. So, you got to take that into consideration. Maybe he's not getting enough game time, or maybe they don't really like. I don't know. I don't know the situation, but you're still at a top club. You did well for Schalke while you were there, who's not a top club, by the way, but I'm saying you got your move to one. So, you got to take that into consideration. Again, I would love to have Weston McKinney at Everton. He's an American, and having an American toffee on the team, the branding here in America would just go up, because Weston McKinney on the U.S. men's national team, and I can actually say this because I have seen him play a good amount on the men's national team, is a good player. He's a really good player. And when the U.S. men's national team has their best players and they put them into a starting 11, Weston McKinney is starting in that starting 11. So again, he's a really good player. I would love for Everton to have him, and I'm sure a lot of Evertonians would agree. If he joined Villa or West Ham, that would suck for us, but it would be good for them. I don't think, though, that Weston McKinney will join either of the three sides. I think he'll stay where he's at Juventus, so I wouldn't look too much into it. Next thing, we're actually going to be talking a little bit about Brighton again, because apparently Everton are interested in their striker Neal Maupay. But we're currently strung by financial fair play rules, FFP. But we also have an interest in Burnley winger Dwight McNeil. This is according to Sky Sports. Right. It would be a mistake if Everton signed Neal Maupay. Okay, I know he's had a bright start to the season. Brighton. Sorry, I'm done. I know he's had a bright start to the season, though. Neal Maupay, he got a goal, which is good, and he's doing fine for them. But it would be a mistake for Neal Maupay to come to Everton if he's looking for first team football. There is no way Neal Maupay gets over Dominic Calvert-Lewin any day of the week. No. Not having it. Even Moise Kean, right? I would still pick Moise Kean over Neal Maupay. And Moise Kean don't even really want to be at the club, okay? But I would still pick him over Neal Maupay. All right. I said this on a video I actually did with Everton Rose a couple days ago. And by the way, if you don't know who Everton Rose is, go check out her channel. She's absolutely fantastic. So go subscribe to her as well. But I said on a video with Everton Rose a couple days ago that Brighton would have finished. I basically said Brighton would have finished higher in the Premier League table if they actually had a decent, good finisher like a Kane or a Calvert-Lewin. If they had a really good forward clinical finisher, they would have finished much higher than they were. And Neal Maupay and Danny Welbeck are just not the answers when it comes to elite top level strikers, forwards, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. But my point being, it doesn't make sense to me why Neal Maupay would move from Brighton to Everton when he's getting a good amount of first team football there. He's their number one forward and striker there. And again, if you're coming to Everton, expect the role of a backup striker or a super sub or something like that, because you're not getting over Calvert-Lewin, man. You're not. So I think it would be a waste of a signing for Everton to make. I don't want Neal Maupay at Everton. I really don't. So that's that. Dwight McNeil, on the other hand, for Burnley, I mean, he had that screamer of a goal he had against us last season. I mean, that was such a beautiful, fantastic goal. But Dwight McNeil, he's just. I don't know if I would have him either at Everton, to be honest, and I actually like Dwight McNeil more than I like Neal Maupay, and I still don't think I would have him at Everton. We got the likes of Gray, we got the likes of Townsend, I mean, again, the only good reason to bring Dwight McNeil to the football club is, for squad depth in case one of our starters got injured, and then maybe he could come in and do a job. But as for me, I'm very 50-50 on Dwight McNeil. I mean, I guess it would be cool if he came, but at the same time, there are some cons in him joining the club, and squad depth would be the only reason for me. Yeah, I don't know about that. I definitely wouldn't have Mope, and then I'm 50-50 on Dwight McNeil. So we'll just have to see what happens in the upcoming week for, transfer day deadline. And I'll just give you my thoughts then. But again, as of right now, it's all speculation. So if neither of those two join Everton, well, what is there to really talk about? There you go. And then according to the source Alfredo Padula, Juventus have contacted Everton for striker Moise Kean. And honestly, dude, Moise Kean just needs to go, in my opinion. He doesn't seem like he really wants to be at Everton. He never really seemed like he wanted to be at Everton. At least that's the way I felt about him, especially after he joined PSG on loan and you're playing with the world's best players, Neymar's and Mbappe's and all that. So, I could, it's just not been very good for Moise Kean at Everton. He just hasn't had that much success. I mean, that goal in the Carabao Cup, he was onside 100%, and it should have been a goal. And then he gets himself sent off, and just he couldn't have left the pitch quicker. Didn't even argue with the referee. He just got off as soon as he could. Really, the Moise Kean saga is just it's annoying. Big drama. It's really annoying for Everton. And honestly, if we can sell Moise Kean for 35, 40 million, by all means, please do it. And, we'll get someone else to back up Calvert-Lewin that I hope would not be Neil Mope. Okay. Not Neil Mope, someone else. Maybe like a Rondon. I'd prefer Rondon over Mope. I know we were linked with him early in the season. Doubt we'll get him though. That's all I really got to say about Moise Kean at this point in time. If he stays with the squad, he stays with the squad, and I just hope for the best for him that he can do something. Also, a little more Everton news. Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Jordan Pickford have been called up for the World Cup qualifiers for England, representing their national teams. Congratulations, boys. Congratulations, DCL. Congratulations, Pickford. Absolutely deserve it. If there's anyone in our Everton team that deserved to make the English national team, it's definitely those two, and maybe Ben Godfrey. But, Pickford is England's number one, proved himself at the Euros. No doubt in my mind, he's one of the top goalkeepers international wise, potentially even the world, especially after those Euros. I really don't think anyone can argue with me on that. Really don't. You'd have to make a really difficult argument to throw Jordan Pickford off of how amazing he's doing right now. And then Calvert-Lewin, hopefully he gets game time. It's very competitive in that England squad, especially when it comes to forwards, with the likes of Kane and them. So hopefully Calvert-Lewin can get game time. That's what we can hope for him. But congratulations to those boys. So that's basically mainly the Everton talk. I'm done for today, Everton-wise. Now to talk about the big clubs, big things going on in the big world of football. And we're going to start off staying in the Premier League. Harry Kane, like I said in a previous video or two, Harry Kane will be staying at Tottenham Hotspur. His move to Manchester City didn't fall through. But ever since City got Grealish, I never thought that move would actually fall through. So he's staying at Spurs. And honestly, they're going to be great this season. Spurs are going to be a really good team this season, especially with Harry Kane back. They're going to finish in the top 6, 100%. Without a doubt in my mind, they'll finish in the top 6. And that's all I got to say about Kane. Move didn't fall through. But then let's talk about Paris Saint-Germain for a second. Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. So apparently Mbappe wants to leave. How true it is, a lot of people say he wants to leave. He wants to go to Real Madrid. But can we see a move happening in the next 5 to 6 days? Because I said I can't see Mbappe leaving them this season. Next season, yeah, he'll go to Real Madrid, no doubt. But this season, I just don't know about it. But again, according to news sources, all that, it just seems maybe he'll go to Real Madrid. But PSG rejected the bid for him, because they need more money. Basically, they're asking Real Madrid to make a higher bid, more money, because they do still have to pay off Monaco for buying Mbappe in the first place. So that's big news. And then another big news, apparently Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester City. This to me doesn't make too much sense. Okay, this to me this rumor, this transfer kind of came out of nowhere, if I'm being completely honest. Now Ronaldo would be very good for that Manchester City side. He would have world class, well, he already has amazing teammates at Juve, but I think in my opinion he'd have even better ones and more amazing ones at Manchester City, especially with young talent around him. And well, just Sterling, De Bruyne. I don't need to explain myself, it's Manchester City. But it doesn't make sense to me, these transfers from Ronaldo to City. I think it would kind of be a big blow to United fans because he was a former United player. I know it was so long ago, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you're joining your rival clubs down the bay. I maybe United fans will be salty about that, maybe not. But again, Ronaldo to City, if it happens, then whoa, okay, because I did not see that coming at all. If anything, I thought he was just going to join PSG, if I'm being completely honest. So that's that. But look, if PSG get rid of Mbappe, they sell Mbappe, Real Madrid get him, then PSG might come back to Everton to look at Richarlison for the replacement. Again, not saying it's true. I'm just saying it's a possibility. If Ronaldo goes to Manchester City, then, well, I mean, it's just a bit weird, to be honest. It's just a bit weird thinking of that. But again, if he does go to City this season, PSG and Manchester City are playing in the same group in the Champions League. So we'd be able to see two of the greatest footballers of all time go at it, which, I mean, wouldn't that be fantastic to watch? That would be amazing to watch. So we'll see if it happens. We'll see if Ronaldo ends up going to City. Again, it just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. But over the coming days of transfer deadline day and the window shutting in these countries now, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And oh yeah, speaking of the Champions League, the group stages are up. All the groups have their teams in it. I'll probably speak a little bit more on the Champions League next video, and who I think will move on from each group. I think I'll do that next video and whatnot, because I don't want to make this one too much longer. So yeah. But actually, sorry, I know. But I just want to say, as far as the Champions League goes, I want to give a big shout out to FC Sheriff, who are, I believe, the first Moldovan team in history to make a Champions League. So props to UFC Sheriff. I'll be rooting for you. And I'll also be rooting for Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League, because I do like Shakhtar. I like that Ukrainian side. Although it is unfortunate, Shakhtar and FC Sheriff are in the same group, which kind of blows, because, the two teams also in that group are top clubs. I forget which top clubs, but they are top footballing teams that will probably finish first and second anyway, knocking, those two out. But we'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap this video up. I hope you have enjoyed. And again, if you want me to talk about other, big clubs, anything other than Everton, with any football, any specific topics, leave it down in the comments below. Or if you want to have a chat about Everton and your opinions, I would love to hear them. Leave them in the comments below as well. Like the video, give me a subscribe, turn on your bell notification so you don't miss a video. It really, really means the world to me once you do. And we spread the word about this channel, so that way, we can just get more people involved with what's going on in the footballing world. And we've been great so far. So please keep spreading the word about this channel. And yeah, that's going to be the end. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.